yet another edition of the program Project Nigeria. I am Festus Ejirog Enefife, and today on the program we will be featuring somebody that by the time I finish today you will tell yourself, oh, I spent my time well. He's a special guest, he's a prince, a banker, a politician, a philanthropist, a two-time governor. If I keep telling you things, maybe we will not live here today. But the most important thing is that we are with him in the house. He is no other person than Prince Audu Abubaka. Your Excellency, you are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much indeed.
Your Excellency, sir, for the benefit of our viewers, can you just tell us a little about your background and how a prince became a politician?
Well, coming down to your question that came from a very humble background. I am Prince Abubaka Audu. I was born in a small village called Abubaka in the local government of Kogi State, Nigeria, in the year 1947, precisely on 27th of October. And had my early education in the vicinity, and later I left my vicinity to receive secondary education in Onitsha, Dennis Memorial Grammar School. And in my fourth year, my principal advised me that since I'm so good in commercial subjects, it would be good for me to switch to a commercial institution where my talent could be fully developed. And I heeded to the advice that took me to Trust Commercial College. I had my A-level. After obtaining my A-level, I joined the bank in 1966. The British Bank of West Africa, later metamorphosed into Standard Bank of West Africa. And having worked in the bank for some period, I was granted sabbatical leave to go for study. So I studied banking and finance in London between 1975 to 78. And I obtained a fellow in international accountant. I'm a fellow of the Institute of International Accountants, a fellow of Chartered Institute of Secretaries, and a fellow of Corporation of Certified Secretaries. I also hold a PhD honorarium from American University in Cotonou and PhD from the Benedict University in Nigeria. I had a 25 years service career with the bank, with a humble beginning as a training officer. I rose up to executive director. I worked both in Nigeria and abroad. In Nigeria, I went around the country training bank staff as a training officer. I was the first black training officer of the Standard Chartered Bank, now first black of Nigeria. And after that, I reverted to line banking. I held the position of senior assistant accountant to manager. And as I said earlier, I led banking institution in the year 1991 as executive director. I retired. And after that, I decided to have a stint in politics. And that same year, after retiring from the bank, I went straight into politics and contested for the position of governorship of Kogi State. And that was on the 14th December 1991 that the governorship election was held. And I had a landslide victory in that position, or rather, to be precise, inaugurated as first executive governor of Kogi State on the 2nd January 1992. I held that position for a couple of months before the advent of the military administration headed by Abubaka. And after Abubaka struck with his coup, I decided to go private. I was running my private business up to 1999 when the opportunity offered itself again. At that time, the soldiers have voluntarily agreed to give up political power and return to barracks. And because of what I did for my people, in my first outing, I was called upon to contest the second time. And I won that election. May 1999. Well, I held that office and did my best for the people. I established in the course of my service the people of my state and Nigeria as a whole. By extension, I established a Abajana cement factory, which today is the largest cement factory in the whole of African continent. Built a 5-star hotel, established university, provided infrastructural facility for all the electorates in Kogi State. And because of what I did for the people, and they really appreciated it, my name became a household word, household name in the entire country. More so as I was crowned on the 22nd January 2002 as the best performing governor in Nigeria because of what I provided my people in form of dividends of democracy. But in 2003, the story was different. Our electoral system was bastardized. There were too many cases, fraudulent cases of electoral malpractices, and so on and so forth. So I decided that unfortunately it wasn't the kind of democracy I bargained for. So that's why people were so much in love with me. Not only in my state, but all over the country, especially those that have interest in our state. I did them for and any type of infrastructure that exists on the ground today in this state is always linked up associated with my administration. I built the polytechnic, I built the university, and the kind of university I built, one that is different from the rest of the universities in Nigeria. I could recapitulate that during that time, the University Commission they sent the official to assess facilities in the university, and they said, and they write in their report after the inspection that it was the fastest developing university, one of the best among the third generation universities in Nigeria, because we have actually a program of 9 universities in America. So that endeared me to the people. And ditto for the Polytechnic and other institutions that are established. I think there are so many that I will not be able to count them on the fingertip.
Yes, definitely. Yes, Leslie, thank you very much. But there's this saying, I was talking to a professor some time ago and he was telling us about the good old days. And I told him, sir, I'm very sorry. You people did not hand over the good old days to us. The good old days ended with you. So don't tell us about the good old days because we never experienced it. From the time you were born, like you told us, and you were able to bring all these things to place in Kogi State, what was the driving force? Like, let me say, you enjoyed the good old days, and you still have the drive to bring the good old days to our present day. What was the encouragement? What was the motivation?
Well, what actually motivated me to do all those things was the pedigree and the antecedent that made Kogi State. Kogi State, or that part of the country, was associated with I could vividly remember that during the Northern Region, that's the first republic, Kogi State was the brain box of the North. All the dirty jobs, all the brain job, all the intellectual capacity, people with intellectual capacity were provided by the Nankaba province, which later metamorphosed into Kogi State. But doing all this, we had nothing. In terms of development, no infrastructure, no job for our people, and that particular area was totally neglected. So that agitated my mind, and I said we're not going to continue like that. If during the Northern Region we're forgotten, it was a big shame. The place was neglected, no road, no good schools, no infrastructural facilities and such, because no water, no electricity, and so on and so forth. So when I was fortunate enough to be elected as the first executive governor of Audu State, I took cognizance of our problems relating to underdevelopment, and I said, well, if people that we served in the past, say for instance in Northern Region and in Kwara State, have forgotten us, now that we are giving our own destiny in our own hands, we have no reason whatsoever to blame our misfortune on anybody. Therefore, we now have our own destiny in our hands, and if we can't do it for ourselves, nobody can do it for us. That's the motivating factor, and that's why I went full swing to make sure that I overturn the trend of underdevelopment I met on the ground. Although the resources accruing to the state then was very marginal compared to what it is now. But after 2003, when we left office, things changed dramatically because crude oil the price started gravitating between 100 to 150. It went as fast as that. And a lot of money was accruing to the state then. But in our usual belief, we believe that we have more sense than money. But I think the people that succeeded us had more money than sense. So that is the difference.
Okay, thank you very much, Your Excellency. You are still watching Project Nigeria. We'll go for a short break now. When we come back, Prince Abubaka Audu is still in the house. He's talking to us.
I am on the streets of Abuja, the Nigerian Federal Capital Territory, just like any other nation. Nigeria is coping with various challenges, which include socio-economic issues, unemployment, and insecurity.
As we are alive to review the first 100 years of our nation, so by the grace of God, with others, we are alive to review what we have done during the time that we have the opportunity to be in the leadership of this country.
We cannot continue like this as a nation. A time will come when the poor in this country will have nothing to eat but the rich. A time will come, those of us who drive on jeeps, it will become dangerous to even drive those jeeps outside. What happened in Libya is smelling in Nigeria.
In a quest to provide solution to some of these challenges, here comes Project Nigeria.
You are welcome back. I hope you are enjoying yourself. We are talking to Prince Audu Abubaka, the former governor of Kogi State. In short, a two-time governor, first and second executive governor of the state. Your Excellency, I was in Kogi myself, like I told you before now. And if I go here, this one, the former governor, Prince Abubaka, the former governor, Prince Abubaka. Now, you were able to bring all this to the table. Where do you think the people that succeeded the successors, what did they do wrong? That even till now, though it's not a prayer that it should be erased, your footprints are there. How did they get it wrong that they cannot continue the way you started this whole thing? Because if they had continued by now, maybe Kogi will be competing with Abuja in terms of development.
Well, I must thank you very much indeed for the glowing encomium. Comes to me as a big surprise because I know Ben Television, they have their base station in London. And I never thought that you heard about my achievement, my little contribution towards Kogi state development as far as London. However, let me say this. The thing that the driving force, as far as I'm concerned, was during the development of that part of the country that steered our people on the face for so many years. That agitated my mind. And I believe that the essence of being in politics is to look for ways and means of making life better for your people, especially when good resources are placed at your disposal. That is my mission in politics. I did not go into politics for the purpose of enriching myself, not for self-aggrandizement, but for the purpose of making life better for my people. I left about 12 years ago, or thereabout. But up to now, whatever you see in forms of infrastructural development, in form of what brings a state out of the woods, in terms of development, modern development, in terms of provision of modern facility, is always associated with me because my drive was different from the people that the other ones that succeeded me. My drive was to improve the living lot of the people. Pains me to see people suffering. We have no reason to suffer in this country. It is most unfortunate that Nigeria, being the richest country in Africa, having the largest economy in Africa, the earning per capita is one of the lowest in the world. And the people are the poorest. The country is very rich, but the people are very poor. How do you reconcile that statement? It's most unfortunate and very pathetic. So the way I reason and approach issues is different from other people. And that is why the difference is clear. Mine is to make life better for my people. Perhaps other politicians will look for ways and means of enriching themselves and embark on self-advertisement, overturn the trend of penury that faced them before coming to position. For me, I was well to do before I came into office as a governor, having served in bank in different capacity around the world for over 25 years. I know how people live abroad, and that is my major concern. You see Nigeria going abroad. They're supposed to go there, study what is there, and come home and try to introduce the same proficiencies, the same perfection. But unfortunately, you see somebody go to school in London or America, you had about 15, 20 years of term there. When he comes back, he will not do anything to change the life of the people in forms of development or introduce what he has seen, a perfect system, to reenact it here so that life will be better for our people. Some work with their two eyes closed, which is unfortunate. But in my own case, whenever I see something good outside my vicinity, I want to bring it back to my people. Because we are also human beings. Whatever is good for the goose is also good for the gander. But a lot of people don't see it from that perspective. So this is the basic difference between me and my predecessors in office.
Thank you very much. Let me just ask a little. Are there any plans to still come back and serve the people like you have done, either at the state level or the federal level in the nearest future?
Well, one thing about me, I am very godly, but I'm not very religious. I believe that anything you want to be in this world is only God that can dictate it for you. That does not in any way suggest that you should not struggle. You should struggle, but not with inordinate ambition that tomorrow I want to be this, and the following day I want to be that. No. Work very hard, have a target, have a focus where you want to get to and when you get there, and work towards it. At times you work out in your field. As far as I'm concerned, whatever capacity God says I will serve my people, I'll be too glad to do that, provided there's health and long life, and provided it is God's wish. Whatever I get, I will enjoy it because I make much more efficient use of it to the benefit of the people, not to myself. So I leave future to God. Whatever God wants me to do in future, He will direct me on how to go about it. But that will not stop me from working very hard.
As a leader, an APC leader in Kogi State and Nigeria by extension, there were state congresses very recently. What can you say about the state congresses?
Well, I have been in politics for quite a number of years. What I saw with APC is unbelievable because I never thought that a third world country can organize election at the local level, at the lowest level, in the most sophisticated manner. What I mean by that is that even registration, we have to do it thoroughly and consensuously, in consonance with the modern tenets. I was in other political parties, we did registration, but the one of APC is different. Is done in consonance with what is obtainable in London, America, and other industrialized countries of the world. After even the registration at the local level, you have other factors, other people who come to pretend over what you've done, to verify the authenticity of what you've done, to verify the accuracy. They have officials appointed from other states to supervise what you've done, to take a careful look at it, to verify the accuracy and the authenticity, and so on and so forth. Always cross-checking at every stage, at what level, at local government level, at the state level, and very soon we'll go for convention. I think this is the first time that proper democracy is being introduced into our system. I'm sorry to say, in the prevailing circumstance, I believe that Nigeria has no democracy, but we have civil rule because of what we are witnessing in Nigeria. It's most unfortunate, but that's the situation.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Let's go a bit national now. There's this prediction that there will be no Nigeria after 2015. Considering the situation, the security situation in the country today, do you think that that statement is just a statement not to think about, or do you think it's a serious thing? Nigeria breaking into pieces.
It's a very kind of statement to make on the part of anybody. Nigeria has been in existence before we were born, before our great-grandfather were born, and it will continue to be in existence. Whether the present rulers, people governing the country, are there in 2015 or not, Nigeria has to be there. Nigeria is a country of 150 million people or above. Will there be an earthquake that will sink everybody on? What will stop Nigeria from existence? Is it because if somebody fails the election, Nigeria will cease to be in existence? Or because somebody wins the election, they feel that he will set the whole country to the industrialized countries of the world, therefore Nigeria's existence is threatened out, is seized? I don't even understand. It's a kind of comment and assertion that I least expect from people with broadened outlook and knowledge of life. They have been Nigeria in existence, and they will continue to be in Nigeria. Whether the present administration succeeds or not in 2015, Nigeria will be there. It was there before them, and it will be there after them.
Okay, thank you very much. Because of our time, very quickly, national conference, we are dialoguing, we are talking now. And you talked about the Nigeria you knew and a few other things that were in place. Now we are getting things wrong. Do you think that this national conference will solve our problem?
Well, I have listened to them. The national conference, as far as I'm concerned, is not achieving the desired objective. I don't know what it was, what the conference is out to achieve. Rather, it looks like a talk shop, and where people come to struggle for allowances. It's ridiculous. That's not the kind of national conference which we are located in the 21st century. I'm sorry to say that. That's my personal opinion.
Yes. Thank you very much. That is the most we can take on the program Project Nigeria this edition. It has been a wonderful time, and if you ask me, I don't think I want to leave here. We have been talking to Prince Abubaka Audu, the first, the second executive governor of Kogi State, and he's a Nigerian, full-blooded Nigerian. He has gone wide, round the whole world, but there is this thing in his mind, not at the back of his mind, at the front of his mind. I am a Nigerian and I will remain a Nigerian. He's always doing everything possible to make Nigeria good. Until next time, I am Festus Ejirogene Fife. Keep watching us because Project Nigeria will give you what you need. Bye-bye.